Breaking news. Witness testimonies against Republican Kentucky Senate candidate Roy Fogle affirm the mounting evidence against Fogle regarding the murder of local DACA dreamer Om Patel. Back to my correspondent for more.
Thanks, Trace. I recently had a panel of supporters of Mr. Fogle, and they seem to think that despite the mounting evidence, Mr. Fogle is still the best man for the job. I recently spoke with a white evangelical, Mr. Abraham Smith.
In my mind, the events only serve to prove that Mr. Fogle would crack down on illegal immigration, which is ruining the U.S. economy as people like Mr. Patel are stealing IT jobs away from hard-working people like myself.
Would you think that the fact that Mr. Patel had a PhD in computer science from Oxford make him more qualified for the job? What kind of degree do you possess?
I don't exactly have a degree in the conventional sense of the word, but at least I can communicate understandable American English with my fellow American co-workers.
Smith also questioned the legitimacy of the testimony, saying that there may be a case against Mr. Fogle if only Mr. Patel had himself come out to testify, but Mr. Patel did not testify about his death. Also, the fact that these allegations had only come out during the later stages of the campaign only justifies the position that there are malevolent underlying motives. He also thinks that the mainstream media has treated Mr. Fogle very unfairly, and that Breitbart and Fox News have taken a much more sensible approach to these baseless allegations that Fogle killed Patel.
Breaking news out of Kentucky. Roy Fogle attempts to repel accusations of anti-Semitism during one of his rallies.
Now, many of my opponents have accused me of being an anti-Semite. And to that I say simply, if I were an anti-Semite, would I have a Jew as my financial advisor?
Yeah, Roy is a fantastic man of absolute superb moral character. He is a fantastic choice. In addition, Roy Fogle supports the moving of Israel's capital from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Tell me, how can he be an anti-Semite?
I also spoke with another supporter of Fogle, James Johnson.
Even if the allegations were true, they really aren't that bad anyways. I mean, you look at the quality of life that Mr. Patel had, and you realize that, if anything, Fogle was putting him out of his misery.
But Mr. Johnson, Mr. Patel was living in a $500,000 home with a loving family.
Well, whatever. He probably got his wealth by selling drugs at the 7-Eleven.
In addition, Mr. Johnson said that the main eyewitnesses in this case were women, and women are, quote, so untrustworthy nowadays that they will simply fabricate information to give Mr. Doug Wallace an upper hand, unquote.
Democratic Doug Wallace likely used a private email server during his previous stint as representative, undermining the safety of millions of his constituents, while even if the allegations against Mr. Fogle are true, he only harmed one person. In addition, Doug Wallace believes in abortion, which is essentially the systematic killing of thousands of defenseless babies. And that is much worse than what Fogle did, which in my mind was a justified killing of a man who is presenting a clear and present threat to society and the American economy. For God's sake, the babies weren't even allowed to bear arms. They couldn't even defend themselves. Jesus said that murder is a sin, but Fogle killed a sinner as Ohm stole all of our jobs. It was justified.
Breaking news. Fox is now projecting Doug Wallace to win in Kentucky by 1 percentage point.
It appears that the fake news media, mainstream media, all of them have been lying to you. They're saying I'm a point behind in the polls, but I believe God will do what is right and shine the light ahead and let me win this race against the despicable Doug Wallace. Alright? Even if my allegations are true, which they're probably not, I only killed one man, while Mr. Doug Wallace has killed so many children. I remind you, children, not just men, children, by his birth control support. I don't know how I'm the villain.
So dark my phone won't pick you up.
Representative. Under undetermining the safety.
What do I know that means?
Are you gonna actually sit on the sofa?
Do I need to?
Sure.
I mean, yes, professionalism. Come on.
Billy can't be saying.
Only justifies his position that they are malevolent.
Yeah, Roy Fogle is a fantastic and, man, of absolute superb moral character. He is a fantastic choice. In addition, Roy Fogle supports the movement